just to read a statement for us. Thank you, leaders.
Thank you, my leader. Sanbonani bo. Hey, kuyabande goal. Hey. I'll try to be so brief, comrade. South African music industry revolution through change strategy. Just keep that in your mind. South African music industry revolution through change strategy. An initiative by visionary individual representing organized sector organization to establish a national motherboard of South African music industry, which works as a shield, self-regulator, mediator, consultative forum, and as a transformation vehicle for the music industry, is finally becoming a reality. The vision has been realized through the formation of the structure called South African Music Industry Council, SAMIC. It was inspired by the clarion call by the current state president in 2009, by also a number of ministers in the Department of Arts and Culture, including our current minister, all arguing that the industry should organize and formalize itself so that artists recognized as a formal businesses and their industries recognized but rather be seen as a regulated and inferior craft. One of the challenges facing the arts sector is fragmentation and a lack of coordination. It's not the question that we are not organized, we are organized, but we want now to coordinate all those organized formations. Then this structure is going to be a value chain organized formation which must music industry and creative sector in South Africa. We are pleased to announce that today we have, through CIFSA and SAMIC, reached out about 36 sector across and various music disciplines. This music council will ensure that the music and the other creative sector formation are united and speak with one voice, as the President of CIFSA have said. It will also be instrumental in unlocking the economic potentials of the music industry and the creative sector. I was so worried when I heard from the current Minister of Finance to say they must cut under the budget under the entertainment. But I think they're misinterpreting our industry. We're in business. If the artists, when they are singing your song, are entertaining you, that is not a true description of our industry. One of the SAMIC external roles is to engage government and other organizations which are operating within the music industry space so that we know who's there in our space. What was merely a dream not so long ago is now becoming a reality which gives one hope for the future and sustainability of the music industry in this country. The historical announcement by the SABC that they will increase local music airplay to 90%, on 18 public radio stations, as well as a tariff increase from 3.2% to 4%, and 80% for local TV programs need to be celebrated by the industry. But the SAMIC leadership wants to remind the music industry, while they are celebrating SABC commitment, they must not forget to defend South African government music-related policies and also include SABC good policies which are benefiting the music and the TV industry as we speak. As a sole voice of South African music industry, together with the Federation, CIFSA, we salute SABC board, SABC management, Mr. Hlaudi Motsoeneng. It is high time that artists take control of their industry and protect what is theirs to leave the legacy for future generations. I'm about to conclude. We need to unite, comrade, and we move forward, leave behind our differences. We should not sit and wait to be spoon-fed. We need to monitor our own programs, protect, transform, and develop music industry within SAMIC as our missionary revolution. We note that SABC is under attack for taking decisions which benefit the poorest of the poor, that include our artists who are dying impoverished. It must be known that SABC is not operating in isolation. The 90% local content is in line with the proposed copyright amendment bill, which is due to be tabled in Parliament. And it must be known that SAMIC will defend such policies, legislation without fear or favor. All what we need to do, together with the SABC in the next step, is to reduce all our commitments in writing. That's why we are establishing a special council called South African Regulatory Council, which will be responsible for engaging other broadcasters and radio stations on local content, as well as to develop working relationships with other organizations who are involved in the music industry area of operation. The Regulator Council will assist SAMIC in order to regulate, accredit, and license all music industry players, and also lobby, advocate government departments such as DTI or DAC, Department of Communication, Department of Labor, Department of Basic Education, and the Department of Small Business Development. One of the main focus of this council is to lead and ensure that the Copyright Amendment Bill, together with the White Paper on Arts, Culture, and Heritage, include industry recommendation and goes to Parliament this year. We want those two pieces of legislation to be passed in Parliament this year, because we won't be able to operate in the industry which is not legislated. That's why we're saying 2016 is our year of change within the creative industry. The leadership of this council will engage SABC board, management, and the National Broadcasters Association. Move forward, SABC. We are backing you. Sihamba nabahambayo, walala wasala. We are saying 90% asijiki. We are not turning back. Yes, we are not turning back. Asingakhulunyelwa, we will represent ourselves. Before I sit down, just one last question. If SABC supported their own creative workers within SABC through finance, supporting SABC choir, what is wrong with that? You want our government to support artists from other countries? That means other people, they got a problem. From the broadcasters and radio station, all what we need is to be represented, to be fully involved in finalizing music-related programs, and also work hand in hand with the compilers. Laba abacompile umculo abasebenze nekomiti lethu kwi-industry. In weekly playing list meetings, the industry should be represented. SAMIC requires each broadcaster and radio station to produce its own music policy, which the industry will be allowed to influence such policies. As we speak, we are developing a local content monitoring and evaluation system so that we monitor the very same 90% we agreed upon with SABC. Let me appreciate the role which is played by certain individuals amongst ourselves here today. Ubaba Mzwakhe Mbuli, uDon Laga, ubaba Usithole weNdala Zombili, ubaba uBheki Ngcobo, indlela endlela kude la sisuka khona lamadoda. Bazokhumbula abanye bake boboshwa le eThekwini sisalwa neParis lidwa ngubaba Mzwakhe Mbuli. Sibonge futhi nama organizers, the people who organize this particular conference. It is high time in ours to have a transformed media which is going to inform the South African public good and the bad news of the music industry, but not just to focus on negative activities of the music industry. Always our artists, more especially on Sundays, we're getting bad stories. But our artists are contributing to communities. They are supporting a number of programs, but we are not getting that from the media. We are coming up with a music industry strategy, change strategy, which contain the following pillars. Just listen to these pillars before I sit down. Transformation with the truth and reconciliation process within the music industry. We need to sit down and have our own truth and reconciliation as an industry. So that together, we need to come together. Second one is to promote the transparency and the accountability. Those days are gone. If you are a collecting society, we want to account to this industry. Yeah. If you are a promoter, we want you to account to this industry. That's why we said we are going to register each and every one of us. Once you operate in this industry, we must have a license now to operate. Yes. So that those fly-by-nights, the time's over. We are going to start a process of establishing our own music industry directory, which is telling us who's doing what, where are the contact details of those people, so that we know each other. Self-regulation and influence on government policies related to industry. That's why I want to self-regulate our industry and support the sectoral organization to coordinate them. Music industry to be united front and one voice, speak with one voice. Music industry protection and solid defense. We need to protect our industry. At one stage, I was saying to the board of SAMIC, let us invite the taxi industry to workshop us on how to defend our own industry. Because this is our industry. We want to make sure our leaders, like Obabu Umzwakembul, they are recognized and respected, and also to promote the industry legacy. Awards. It's high time our government afake imali kuma awards. Nama owners ama awards suwa license has account kule industry. So that when the artist won utoli award, we mustn't see you the following year you are poor man ucela imali yokugibela kuthini. We are coming up with a social security trust fund. We need to have our own fund to transform our industry. Local economic development, which is touching to what Uba said around the value chain industry. We need to have our own. We need to make sure that we are training our industries in terms of good governance and make sure 90% is across the board. Kuma newspaper, in everything we do, 90% is there. Lastly, our direction now is simple, mass action. This is a beginning, it's not the end. This is a mass action. We are coming up with a music revolution change strategy. After that, we are going in September with music summit of this country. Lastly, we are going to develop our own South African music charter. Thank you, Ngiyabonga.
Oha. Sibonge kakhulu ngokheli yethu. Thank you so much to the leaders of the industry. I think in simplest language, we are saying this must serve as our first warning shot to those that want to take away whatever our government is providing to us as the industry. As the speakers have outlined. Thank you very much, leadership. We hope the message is home. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, then to also request the following organizations to as well add their voice into the speech. I am looking at our time. We're doing very well. In terms of the times I'll be giving you, I'll ask you not more than 2 minutes as speakers so that we have enough time for the media houses that are in the house to ask questions. So can I request a recognition from the can I be guided, leader? Adajaktanda leader wami uvela ube njalo wena ke angeke ngukhohlwe leader angeke ngukhohlwe we making sure. Thank you very much. Firstly, we asking the leader of the South African music movement uNtate Donlaka ukhona imic nje erovayo lapho just uhlabe nje leadership pa siye phambili. Yeah.
Dumelang sanibona nabushini nakere today re tlisitse ke ntwe e1 taba e1 re tshwanetse re lwele and selfishly guard the gains tsa rena tsa 9010 and ra itse re hona le batho ba tlang ka di back door ba nyoko re tlo re tlosa mo stulong se re le mo sona se because ba nagana gore le he ba ka tlosa Ntate Hlaudi no di artist di tla nna kwa le quietly re ka seke Ntate Mswake wa itse gore ntwa e tlhaele kae re tlo lwa Mswake re tlo tsena strateng a ba re bona re le mo strateng re tlo bua hape ka di banner tsa rena this time re lwa ntwa to guard this 9010 ya rona and rejoining like youth bontsha gore bona they are actually going to take over this thing ya gore 9010 is protected Ntate Hlaudi re khale re lwa le batho for 20 years ba re bona ba rutegile a ke re ba re bjao ba re no re tla le bona nako engwe Ntate Hlaudi ha dutse mola a re the artist ke tlo lutlwella ke tlo le fa 90% fela re tshwanetse re boele hape re khopela 10% e la re la khele kwa re be le 100% ke ntwe tshwanetse re lwele eo so na ka re South African music movement re sebetsa le bo botlhe ba ba dutseng mo are independent from anyone re sebetsa le structure tse di leng teng tsena and re tlo tswa mola re o rasa ko ntle kwale if bona ba nagana gore bona ba tla ka di back door ba tlo stopa 9010 re 9010 a tswele pele thank you
Can we have the voice of the youth Romeo please take the podium
Forward with 9010, forward. Forward with 9010, forward. Hands off, Hlaudi, hands off. Hands off, SABC, hands off. Forward with unity in the sector, forward. Thank you, Program Director. My name is Romeo from South African Arts and Culture Youth Forum. As young people in the creative sector of this country, we are tired of being apologetic and being intimidated by capitalists. We are saying that as the youth of this country, we are the guardians of this 9010 that has been fought by our legends. We are saying that the journey that our legends and our comrade Mswake and our Bradon started, we are going to safeguard it. We are not going to be apologetic to anyone. It's supposed to be very clear that those who are going to attack the SABC, which is the public protector, that is protecting the rights of all the artists of this country, and the Hlaudi, they are going to be fighting with us. We need to be clear as a sector. We are tired of artists who are being treated as celebrities and you appear on TV and they want to make you feel like when you appear on TV you've got money. We are tired of a sector that doesn't pay our people. We are saying through this 9010, our people are going to be able to live. And we are saying as well, we are very disappointed that journalists of this country, they are only pushing the agenda of capitalists. They are pushing the agenda of those who own media houses. They talk of censorship. What is censorship? When they themselves, they are being told what to report and when to report. And we are saying as young people of this country, we are saying as the youth of this country, we have said it before with Hlaudi that everybody who's going to touch Hlaudi is going to be touching us. We are going to mobilize the youth around the country. We are saying if we are a young artist, our legends has opened the doors for us. And these doors that have been opened are not just doors. These are doors of opportunities. We are tired of the sector that is controlled by white monopoly capital. We are saying to those imperialists who are sending their people to intimidate Hlaudi that when you intimidate a man who has brought progress in the sector, you are intimidating us as young people. And we won't leave you. And I'm agreeing with our legends that we are going to take this battle to the streets. In fact, we don't have to waste time because those who were marching against the SABC, they are just opportunists. We will come with the mass of young people to march for the real issues of the sector. We are sad to every year we only see 2-3 celebrities and the money has been going overseas and now we must celebrate that. We can't celebrate mediocre. We are not going to celebrate dreams. We are saying as young people we need reality and we are saying away with dreams, away. Forward with the radical change of the creative sector, forward. Amanda.
sicela uba usithole azo represent the cultural sector very quickly.
Bandla impi sistinile madoda sishaywa madoda angangobaba obaba bethu obaba basele emakhaya hamba sifanele ndlo impi sistinile madoda angangobaba obaba bethu obaba basele emakhaya hamba sifanele ndlo impi sistinile sishaywa ayibo obaba bethu obaba basele emakhaya hamba sifanele ndlo ma-Afrika amahle luna bakathariyensu nina ma-Afrika ezweni lo babamkhulu la kubokhokho elathathwa ngenkani kwathathwa inkomo zethu kwathathwa umhlaba wethu kwathathwa namalungelo omculo wethu kwathathwa nanokukhuluma kwethu nanokuthi fanele sichathe njani kwabula umchato wesintu kwaphasa wesilungu ngoba sicindezelwa emhlabeni wokhokho kwathathwa ubukhosi bethu bangaphansi kobukhosi babo ngoba bona bengamangisi nabanye thina sasesithiwa sizozwa ngabo angeke sizwe angeke sizwe ngabo angeke sizwe angeke sizwe ngabo angeke sizwe. But too many people, too many people are suffer, too many. But too many people, too many people are suffer, too many. Angeke sizwe, angeke sizwe ngabo. Program Director Mphathi Ohlelo ngiyabonga kakhulu. Thank you very much for the opportunity ukuthi sithole ukuphefumula. Thina ke singabaculi besintu sesikubekile lokhu. Ukhukhulela ngoquyezwa nje kusukela kusasa iyangena information kini nonke ukuthi thina ke siyahlangana uyobona ke ngizihawu phezulu ngizumshiza phezulu sibheke lapha lento kufanele babone njengoba begijime baya lapha bayothi uHlaudi akaphume nako ngizokukhuluma nje angeze ukuba mude bafowethu kufanele sazi into esiyilwelayo uHlaudi umama uThuli Madonsela uHlaudi kuyafana angithi kufana nakho lokuthiwa uDGT acting DG uthi hawu ukumehluka kuphi lapha khona lokho ke nje kuyahambisana nayi into efanele si understandeni ma comrade nayi into efanele si understand ubaba nangabe upublic protector ethola ukuthi akanawo matric bazama ukuatheka kwa SABC wathi cha wakubeka lokhu kithi ukuthi akanayo istandard 10 kodwa thina simpromote esuka phansi sakhuphuka naye ngokuthola ukuthi lo muntu nekhono into esebenza iqiniso nakusiyiphepha umuntu osebenza umqondo yabo umqondo womuntu nokukhuthala kwakhe nanokuyazi into ayenzayo la nawungabheka kule genge eningi nje ayidlala ibhola abafowethu kunabafana abaningi ababengafundanga kodwa babe dribble into ongakazi uyibone lapha eOrlando yabo kwaphinda ke futhi bathi bayabuya bezoke SABC bafowethu cha sebebona labakade bemashile nje no last beyothi hey akakhishwa wathi SABC cha phela mina akaqambanga manga kimi lo muntu wakhuluma iqiniso walibeka nje iqiniso kwempahla yembuzi savuma thina so esengisho ukuthi bafowethu siyasazi thina istory esakhulunywa yilo yababa thina abaculi besintu okokuqala mina ngizwa usathe uhamba kuyo noma yipi taxi na uyalalela kuvulwe manje ama radio station ethu kudlalwa enikhathi uzwaka abantu ukuthi ikhathi bezizwe ukuthi basekhaya ngempela ke bafowethu nabe kuzokwenziwa njalo ingoma eziningi ezidlalwa manje ekade engasadlalwa ngoba isikhathi bese sincane kodwa manje isikhathi sivumile ziyadedelwa ingoma uzwe nengoma ekudala besingasazizwa yabona manje ke lento ngisho ukuthi ke bafowethu thina sisonke siyaphambili hayi ke thina sizinsizo mfowethu ungacabanga ukuthi na uthinta amagwala siwona amagwala mandla
Lama promoters nayo Hlaudi Morris
Program Director, thanks for this opportunity. My name is Morris Khoda, representing here EcoPensa, which is promoters and producers in South Africa. Firstly, I'm a little bit disturbed because when I look around this house, I only see black faces. And by the way, I still believe that we are still a rainbow nation. Let's not forget that this is July. As we celebrate legacy, Mandela, we must make sure that tomorrow when we meet again, President, we should have white artists in this house. We should have white producers. It can't be that this cause, after 1994, it looks like, this country hasn't changed. Because we have changed, we must acknowledge. Uguchi, we've got a democratic government right now, which represents my interest of all our people. That is white, that is Indian, and colors. Number two, we talk about 90-10. It's very, very critical. Uguti means should be done. Uguti, this 90% should be legislated. But as other speakers have mentioned, even if it means 100%, it should happen. So that tomorrow, when somebody else decides, Uguti, it was a mistake that 90-10, but we make sure that Uguti, nobody can reverse these gains. So from the promoters, we say that we support SABC, Mr. Hlaudi and all his management team for making sure that our artists, as from now moving forward, they will be able to have a living wage. But this, I peleli lapho. I think we also need to credit our government because when you look at the live industry, artists, they will be making money from the 90-10. But where artists make most money, it's on the live industry. Yeah. And that live industry, currently, it's only supported by government. That is the Department of Arts and Culture. Mentioned just 4 major events. That is Cape Town Jazz, Joy of Jazz, Tribute, and Makufe. If government can pull out from those events, then the industry will collapse. Yeah. What this means is that where is then corporate South Africa in support of the local artist? It's nowhere to be found. But you will see our young artists. Just watch your SABC One music programs. All our young artists are promoting corporate South Africa, particularly South African breweries. But when it comes in terms of making sure that these artists are being supported in the live industry, that has been found wanting. So I'm actually trying to say, program director, we shouldn't take this thing light. Uguti, as soon as we are done, and we are done, as a matter of fact, with SABC, then our next challenge should be corporate South Africa. where it needs to be challenged head on in terms of making sure that it supports this industry. I thank you.
Thank you so much. There is a roving mic. Because so some questions, few questions from the media houses. In this order. First, Lili, Sescona, Nancy leader, Stella Nigazena, in that same order, Seven Zimande, Gusami, Ashabenaye, and then from there, Sas Guti, Lama legend, way to Ubabu, Blondima Fene, who's in the house, the scissors are so that Bashabena. And then from there, CFC again, who are the CSA. In that order of 4. No, that mic is an SABC mic. That's fine. Okay. But you guys a mic, please. You guys a mic. No, that's fine. That's fine.
Thanks, Thanks very much, Chairperson. As you have introduced me, I'm Andy Lili from Sescona, People's Rights Movement. Let me first by congratulating the artists of South Africa and SABC about 90%. Viva SABC, viva! Viva! Our support for SABC and its CEO, Comrade Hlaudi Motsoeneng, is unshaken. We believe that before 1994, you artists, people of South Africa, fought very hard for these gains of our freedom. And therefore, we cannot allow at any given time that a devil's alliance, which is the DA, to control this public. This is a public broadcaster, and it must remain as such. Therefore, even those who are fighting against, who are talking about censorship, I mean, I don't understand. We don't understand where does this terminology, censorship, comes from. Because, for instance, if live sex is not accepted on a live television, why must we allow what you call a violent protest? Here, we're talking about a question of immorality. This thing is all about morality, and we believe in morality and nothing else. So people who are tweeting, those fat cats, some of them are from within my political organization, the ANC, like Comrade Tito Mboweni, they must stop talking about censorship. There is nothing like censorship here. We're talking about what we call morality. And therefore, we must defend the SABC. We must defend SABC COO, Comrade Hlaudi Motsoeneng. We must congratulate you artists for your fight and the gains that you got through your struggles. We believe that you inspired us during apartheid times. You still going to inspire us going forward. And we are expecting you to compose songs. We are expecting you to continue inspiring us as people of South Africa. We must all make sure that we defend this public broadcaster from the devil's alliance. Remember, these are the very same white people. These are the very same white people who oppressed us during apartheid. These are the very same people who are the beneficiaries of this land. These are the very same people who have ownership of this land. we are nothing as poor people and black South Africans in majority. So we congratulate SABC and we are saying let us stay firm in support of Comrade Hlaudi Motsoeneng and SABC. Viva Hlaudi Motsoeneng, viva! Thank you.
Yeah, siyacela comrades man asibeni mfishane because manje
Thank you very much, my leader. I'm going to be very short because I'm talking about two things. Behind the artist, there's always a businessman. I want to talk to business people of South Africa, especially in our industry, that there's no transformation in the music industry. I want a share on Sony, Universal. All these labels are international companies. They've never invested to business people in South Africa. And that's the transformation I want to talk about. And then two, ownership. Not a single black man in South Africa who owns a share at Sony. All these artists that they are releasing from outside in South Africa, we're not getting a cent. And that's what we need to push. And with our government, I'm definitely sure we can get that. It's either they give us something or they leave. Thank you.
to our legends laphana nangubaba emuva ntate Blondi Magene ke yo gaufi le wena ntate ka phefumule
irima kwala cheche a cheche le murao uya irima kwala cheche a cheche le murao uya
Thank you very much.
Hayi chopina. Thokozani. Siyabonga. Ya nedlozi liyagida. Asinje nayithina sigidayo. Makugida umngoma kugida idlozi. Siyabonga weHlaudi, we having a conversation in this country. Something we haven't had in a long time. We are talking to ourselves. Today, a woman can say, how long lo baba lo khwehlelayo lona konje bani lo baba khwehlelayo? Umparanyana. Uyazi ngahlangana na no baba wakho idlala le ngoma lena. You see, now mom and child are beginning to connect because mom was not listening to Beyonce and the child was listening to Beyonce. So I'm saying phambili ngalomzabalazo lo.
Nice one.
Siya phambili malithethe idlozi malifike ekhaya idlozi ngoba idlozi lilandela ingoma ayikho enye into. Thokozani.
Njalo vele undlulise aye ku Apple City then iye kuba usizwe lapha sibeniswazi ukuthi ngicedile ngama legend wami then we finish up with the last two organizations then siyaphambili.
Yeah, I don't have much to say except to say one of the things that we must remember as South Africa and Southern African people is that one of the first countries to take note of trying to pull the economic pressure on the apartheid system was Jamaica. One of the most known South African musicians to ever grace this land was a reggae musician by the name of Lucky Dube. It seems like reggae is still in exile. And I think it's high time that we have more representation of the genre of reggae music. There's so many youths who are really trying their level best. Eastern Cape, Toando, Malamlele, Zanini, you can name it through. And speaking from what has happened in the country of Zimbabwe, where 90% was introduced almost 10 years ago. I bet you there's more youths who are flying to the UK more than ministers and goods to go and showcase their local things. So salute 90% is going to do wonders. It's going to look rocky at the beginning, but when the ship is sailing, it's smooth sailing all the way. Thank you very much.
Thanks, leader.
Thank you, MC, for this opportunity. I'm very excited to see everybody here. I haven't seen some of the guys for a long time, and I'd like to thank the legends, the guys who have put this meeting together, and also the guys who have been fighting. I'm so excited to be sitting next to Bramzwag. But Don Laga, brother, I don't know how to thank you and Bramzwake for all the battles you fought, guys. And we're so excited. I'm saying to the musicians, the young ones who are coming, this is the opportunity. And the 90% that we have, let's make it a point that the documentation, because that's where we lose it as musicians. We're excited to be at the studio and not write these things down. Please, let's make it a point that we have all the paperwork done properly when we do these things. We are very excited. I don't have much to say, but all I can say is that we're supporting the SABC, that Hlaudi, we appreciate what you've done for us. You know, it's been very, very hard. You came as a Moses to the music industry. We're very happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let's have the Friends of Hlaudi here, followed by a collecting society, Imbra, and then after that, then we'll then get Saada, then get started and a leader in that order. We'll just very quick.
Amandla SABC, Amandla. Amandla, Comrade Hlaudi Motsoeneng, Amandla. Forward with the board of the SABC, forward. So I hope the chairperson, or the program director would understand that being a friend of Comrade Hlaudi, like him, it requires time, and time I will be afforded. Comrades, without wasting time, I really appreciate, and the organization, Friends of Hlaudi, really appreciate the support that it's witnessing today. The support of brothers, of black African brothers that are able to stand together. The support of artists. My name is Vetzle Sinyo. I'm a provincial coordinator from the Free State for Friends of Hlaudi. Our message is simple. It's as radical as him. Because our friendship, it's not in a fruit sort kind of a friendship like Eno. It's a friendship that stood the test of time and that is prepared to even die for this ideal that are pro-African in nature and incorrect, because that forms the principle. We walk the talk, because on Wednesday we'll be rolling out a mass action around the country, pledging our support in all the provincial offices of SABC. But what is more interesting is the second or a sequel demonstration where we'll be handing the memorandum on the 19th of this month to the Blue Swimming Pool organization led by its own brothel master. That is the person we are interested in. Primarily because we understand that this is the political game, over and above all other issues, to reverse the gains of our democracy. And if it means that we need to stand in cold weathers and meet this blazer boy of this blue swimming pool party. We are prepared to do that and stand for it. Like I said, that we understand that it is a political game. We want to send a very clear message to him that with SABC, with the board, with the policy of government, and with this transformation agenda, we are not deterred. We stand firm. And if you think the few couple of people he pasted with masking tapes go into SABC, borrowed concept called censorship, and so on. If he thinks we don't understand that, we want to make it clear to him that you will see us in your offices in Johannesburg. Don't go and do door to door, because it will be material for you that day. We will stand and wait for you to go and lie to our people, because a lot of censorship is in your offices. It's packed in those offices with lies, and that is censorship. Yes, so we will urge all the people, the entire country, to rally behind these efforts, these good intentions that the SABC is embarking upon, these mass actions that we are getting into. That is for the good cause. Apartheid was not won in a day. And with this democracy, we are prepared to stand toe-to-toe with all these prophets of doom and prove that we will win at the end of the day. We won before. This new battle of conspiracy will not deter us, and they will never win. Amandla! 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 Thank you. The last message. Only the last message. I think this is important. You see, I used to call somebody Comrade Jimmy. Jimmy, who has just resigned. Your popcorn kind of thinking will also not deter us. Today you write an affidavit supporting Comrade Hlaudi Motsoeneng. Tomorrow there is a sensational. We don't know whether you are bought or not. We will not be convinced otherwise. Amanda.
Can we have the voice of the collecting societies, Imbra, please, in that order? Comrades, what we're trying to do is to just make sure that through the live broadcast, we capture everybody, and then we can then still continue after that if you guys are still allowing us.
Amanda. Thank you very much, Program Director, who's also the chairperson of the Association of Independent Record Companies. My name is Dodo Monamudi. I'm the chairperson of IMPRA and the former chairperson of ECHO, and also the Treasury General of CISA. Colleagues, I'll be very short, just to take your minds back to say, remember previously, our millions of our country have been leaving our artists stranded and the producers dying pauper. And unfortunately, the media as well has been making a joke of our people. Now and then when our black people are dying, especially our artists, you'll always see them on the front pages. You will never see a white artist on the first page for that matter. Now, as well as, secondly, we took a very conscious decision as ECHO previously. In 2011, where we were supported by the government and Tate Hlaudi Motsoeneng, where we are saying now, as an organization, we begin now to take the business from the periphery of it, because that is what our black organizations have been known about, from the periphery to the center. What we did then, we afforded a chance by the SABC through the leadership of Tate Hlaudi Motsoeneng, whereby we are then given a blanket license agreement with the SABC. Remember, since time memorial, as record companies, as artists, we've been knowing taking your videos to the SABC, it's only for promotion. It has never been a favor. There are people that have been paid for those kind of materials, and it hurts us as independent record companies. This we are then supported with that campaign by Ntate Hlaudi to say, we will give you our videos and later on we'll pay the owners of those videos. We're able to pay them for the first time in their time as musicians. They were able to receive video royalties through ECHO. And we never stopped there because we realized that in this country there's never been a black-led collecting society. In 2014 we went further. We grouped ourselves as organizations, as AISA, as ECHO, as IMPRA, as MASA, as also as COMISA. We came together, we then registered ourselves through CIPC, a collecting society, which has also been embraced by Ntate Hlaudi Motsoeneng, outside all other these broadcasters that you see there. And at our collecting society, we are very clear. We are saying in the absence of any contract between the performer and the producer and the producer will receive equal monies. In closing, I'm saying, as the only black-led collecting society, our message is very clear, to say no more exporting royalties without reciprocal agreements. If people are taking our millions from this country to other countries outside without a reciprocal agreement, it will stop. And we know that the only person that will be able to listen to that voice is Ntate Hlaudi Motsoeneng. In closing, we are saying local content must benefit the local performers and producers. And we are very clear. That is what Nigel Time is meant to achieve for this country. So if Nigel Time is not affording any opportunity to our local people, then there's something wrong about it. And in closing, we are saying hands off, Ntate Hlaudi Motsoeneng, hands off. Thank you very much.
Compatriots, there are many hands that wants to still support and give words of support. But can I request that we then have an official vote of thanks from President Wesamik, and then from there we will still continue with those messages of support. This I'm doing it just for the purpose of our live recordings that are happening just now. As per their great time with the SABC.
Well, I'm not an actor, I'm real. It's a quick one. Before I just wanted to make a straight point. How many know the meaning of Futsek? Futsek is not vulgar, we're on TV. Futsek means get away, go away. Ne? So when I say Jimmy Matthews, it means Jimmy Matthews and the like. When I say Jimmy Matthews, you must say Futsek. Then when I say Hlaudi, you must say long live. Asin, are you ready? Yes. Jimmy Matthews. Jimmy Matthews. Hlaudi, long live. Hlaudi, long live. Okay, thank you so very much. All right. Yeah, all right. Thank you so very much for everybody. Thank you so much to everybody that has come here and to the nation watching. And I want to give special thanks to Comrade Mzwakhe Mbuli. He's so special. I can't say anymore. He's so special. In fact, behind the scenes, he made this day possible. But he said, leaders of industry, come out and let's deal with these issues. There is no censorship. I don't know what these guys are talking about. They must go back and read the dictionary. Censorship is not what Hlaudi is doing. Finish and clear. He wants the good story to tell. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all of those remarks, supporting messages. We really appreciate each and every single message that came across. I was given a script leadership. I just made sure that I stick to it. So you must understand in terms of protocol who must speak. So from where we are now, we are saying to everybody The message is clear. We are requesting all other sectors. In the main, the music industry's voice is very clear. We are supported by the president of the cultural and creative industry. We are hoping that we will see fashion making their own statement. We will see actors making their own statement. So let us make sure that we are swelling the ranks. We are saying hands off SABC, hands off the decision of our own government, and hands off Hlaudi Motsoeneng. From me, as the leader of the producers, we are saying, as producers, we are seeing the current 90% still benefiting conglomerate multinationals, because the music that is being played on air is the music that was recorded at Gallo Studios long time ago. Asicalen produce music that will be. We want ownership. We want to make sure that you produce music so that you benefit from the royalties that these leaders are talking about. So we are calling every one of us to make sure that we are currently fulfilling 7% of the 90%. So it means that we must go back and say, produce, composers, rise up and produce more music. Now we will share with you how you do it right. In those words, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the support. As we go on, whoever is raging the war against us, we are taking head on. I think in the Ingomishil, Makwala Cheche, Renapilo Tata, Riekopili. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think we are giving also the opportunity from now, whether we're going or journalists that are here, we are available, the leaders are available. We can actually organize the interviews for you, so you can connect with me. Thank you very much.